Imagine sipping your favorite citrus-flavored soda, unaware of the hidden ingredient lurking within. Brominated vegetable oil, or BVO, is more common than you might think. Found in various beverages and foods, BVO often goes unnoticed. Behind its facade lies a controversial history and potential health risks. BVO is a synthetic additive used to stabilize citrus flavorings. It prevents the separation of ingredients. The chemical composition of BVO raises concerns. BVO's structure shares similarities with flame retardants. The use of BVO has sparked debates among experts. This highlights the need for informed consumer choices. BVO's chemical structure, similar to flame retardants, raises concerns about its long-term effects on human health. When consumed, BVO can accumulate in body tissues, including fat cells, breast milk, and even the brain. This accumulation raises concerns about potential toxicity and long-term health consequences. Studies have linked BVO consumption to various adverse health effects, albeit mostly in high doses. Animal studies have shown that excessive BVO intake can lead to reproductive and developmental problems. In humans, high BVO consumption has been associated with skin lesions, memory loss, and nerve disorders. While the levels of BVO used in beverages are generally lower than those used in these studies, concerns remain about the potential for long-term accumulation and its impact on vulnerable populations, such as children and pregnant women. More research is needed to fully understand the long-term effects of BVO consumption at levels typically found in food and beverages. The regulatory history of BVO is a roller coaster of changing perspectives and scientific understanding. Introduced in the 1930s, BVO initially gained popularity as a safe and effective emulsifier in citrus-flavored beverages. Its ability to prevent ingredient separation and maintain a desirable appearance made it a favorite among beverage manufacturers. For decades, BVO enjoyed widespread use, largely unquestioned and unregulated. However, as scientific understanding of chemical additives advanced, concerns about BVO's safety began to surface. Studies highlighting the potential for bromine accumulation and its link to adverse health effects prompted regulatory agencies to reevaluate BVO's safety profile. In the 1970s, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration revoked its generally recognized as safe status for BVO, citing insufficient safety data. This decision prompted further research and debate, leading to BVO's current status as an interim food additive with usage limitations. Other countries, including those in the European Union and Japan, took a more stringent approach, banning BVO altogether. The debate over BVO's safety reached a fever pitch in the early 2010s, when a teenager's online petition calling for its removal from popular sports drinks garnered significant media attention and public support. The petition, which highlighted the use of BVO in flame retardants and its potential health risks, resonated with consumers concerned about the presence of potentially harmful chemicals in their beverages. This public outcry put pressure on beverage manufacturers to reconsider their use of BVO. Several major companies, including PepsiCo and Coca-Cola, announced plans to remove BVO from their products in response to consumer concerns and evolving regulatory landscapes. These high-profile cases brought the issue of BVO and other controversial food additives into the spotlight, sparking a broader conversation about food safety, transparency, and the power of consumer advocacy. The incident served as a stark reminder that consumers have a voice and can influence corporate practices through informed choices and collective action. Section 5. Global reactions, bans, and restrictions around the world. The regulatory landscape for BVO varies significantly across the globe. Some countries have banned BVO outright, while others permit its use with limitations. The European Union, Japan, and several other countries have banned BVO. The United States and Canada allow BVO with concentration limits. This highlights the ongoing debate about BVO's safety. Section 6. The industry response, corporate actions and public statements. The public outcry over BVO and the evolving regulatory landscape have prompted many beverage manufacturers to reevaluate their use of this controversial additive. While some companies have defended their use of BVO, citing its safety record and regulatory approvals, others have opted to reformulate their products, removing BVO in response to consumer concerns and market demands. Major beverage giants like PepsiCo and Coca-Cola, facing mounting pressure from consumers and health advocates, announced plans to phase out BVO from their products. These decisions, driven by a combination of public perception and business considerations, signaled a shift in industry practices towards greater transparency and a responsiveness to consumer preferences. However, not all companies have followed suit. Some smaller beverage manufacturers continue to use BVO, arguing that it is safe at permitted levels and essential for maintaining product quality. This continued use, while legal, highlights the need for ongoing consumer education and advocacy to ensure that all food and beverage companies prioritize consumer health and safety. Section 7. Expert Opinions, Weighing the Risks and Benefits of BVO. The safety of BVO remains a subject of ongoing debate among scientists, health experts, and regulatory agencies. While some experts maintain that BVO is safe at levels currently permitted in food and beverages, others express concerns about its potential long-term health effects, particularly in vulnerable populations. Proponents of BVO argue that its use is justified by its long history of use, regulatory approvals, and the lack of conclusive evidence demonstrating harm at typical consumption levels. They point to studies suggesting that BVO is efficiently eliminated from the body and that the levels used in beverages are far below those shown to cause adverse effects in animal studies. Conversely, critics of BVO emphasize the precautionary principle, arguing that the potential for harm, even if not fully understood, warrants its removal from food and beverages. They point to the chemical similarities between BVO and flame retardants, the potential for bioaccumulation, and the lack of long-term studies on its effects on human health. Section 8. Consumer Awareness. Empowering yourself through knowledge. In an era of increasingly complex food systems and a dizzying array of additives, empowering ourselves as consumers begins with knowledge. Understanding the ingredients in our food and beverages, their potential impact on our health, and the regulations that govern their use is paramount to making informed choices. Reading food labels carefully is crucial to identifying the presence of BVO and other additives. Look for brominated vegetable oil on ingredient lists, and be aware that it may also be listed as BVO or E443. Familiarize yourself with other common food additives and their potential health effects. Beyond reading labels, stay informed about food safety issues, regulatory changes, and consumer advocacy efforts. Numerous online resources, such as the Environmental Working Group, EWG, and the Center for Science in the Public Interest, CSPI, provide valuable information on food additives, their safety profiles, and tips for making healthier choices. Section 9. Reading between the lines, understanding food labels and additives. Navigating the world of food labels can feel like deciphering a foreign language. Ingredient lists, often laden with unfamiliar chemical names and cryptic abbreviations, can be overwhelming and confusing. However, understanding the basics of food labeling can empower us to make more informed choices. Food labels are required by law to list all ingredients in descending order of predominance by weight. This means that the ingredient present in the largest amount is listed first, followed by the ingredient present in the second largest amount, and so on. Pay close attention to the first few ingredients, as they constitute the bulk of the product. Be wary of vague or misleading terms on food labels. Terms like natural flavors and artificial colors can obscure the true nature of the ingredients used. Natural flavors can be derived from natural sources but undergo significant processing, while artificial colors are synthetic dyes that mimic natural colors. Advocating for safer and healthier food choices. The debate over BVO highlights the need for greater transparency in our food system and a renewed commitment to prioritizing consumer health and safety. As informed citizens, we have both the right and the responsibility to demand clearer labeling, stricter regulations, and safer food choices. Support organizations and initiatives that advocate for transparency in food labeling and stricter regulations on food additives. Contact your elected officials to express your concerns about BVO and other controversial additives, urging them to prioritize consumer safety over industry interests. By staying informed, making conscious choices, and raising our voices collectively, we can create a food system that prioritizes our health, well-being, and the right to know what's in our food. Let's work together to create a future where transparency and consumer empowerment are paramount in the food we consume.